What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first lesson of the Ironclad Crypto Security mini course. I want to first dive into what blockchain is and why we actually have it. And the best way to start to explain anything, in my opinion, is to dive into the problem that it actually solves, because that's where the innovation and why it actually came to be in the first place was created. So in order to dive into that, I think the very first thing that we want to cover is the evolution of the internet. And to start off, I want to start off with talking about Web 1, okay? So when Web 1 first launched, this is when we were first able to start utilizing the internet. This is when we were actually starting to dive in and being able to look at web pages. But the problem is that it was only like online newspapers. We couldn't really interact with these websites at all, right? They were really just read only. We couldn't click to like something. We couldn't post a blog article. We couldn't comment on anything, nothing like that. So then we had the second iteration of the internet come out, which was actually Web 2. Now, when Web 2 launched, we were now able to utilize the like button on Facebook. We were able to poke our friends on Facebook, which whatever happened to poke wars? You used to be able to like poke somebody and wait to get a poke back. You used to have like 3 years of poke wars going on, and that was out of hand. I don't even know why we ever did that. The human race is an interesting species. But anyways, when Web 2 came out, we were able to have inputs into these websites. So like liking something, commenting on something, blog articles being posted, all of that stuff there. Now, when we're able to provide inputs to the internet, a new layer of a problem surfaced that needed to be solved. All of our inputs, such as us inputting our credit card information, inputting our email, inputting our phone number, inputting anything, now needs to be stored as data. Data is anything that's being stored online. That could be the amount of money that you have in your bank account. That can be the transactions that you've had. That can be your email, your social security number. All of that stuff is considered data. And right now, there is no native data storage solution on the internet, which is why we've had third-party companies like Amazon and Facebook and Google go ahead and create these third-party data storage solutions for us. Now, what has that led to? Well, now we have all of these individuals that now own all of this data because we scrolled to the bottom. You're all guilty. I see you. You're guilty. I'm guilty too. You scroll down to the bottom of these terms and conditions that are 77 pages long, and you just click accept without reading anything. And little do you know that inside of those terms and conditions, they now have complete access to everything that you do. They track all of your clicks, they track all of your data, they store all of that data, and then they do one of two different things. The data either sits there for you to utilize, or they actually sell that data to other people, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Cambridge Analytica scandal that happened with Facebook of selling our personal data to like political campaigns and stuff like that. Or maybe you've heard about the data breaches from Equifax or LastPass or Sony, where people's credit card informations were leaked or hacked, then used in like for fraud, or social security numbers were taken for Equifax and then impersonations could happen. Again, fraud. And then there's also Sony, who had credit card information that was leaked. So did Target. So the biggest companies in the world are not free from these different issues of having Web 2 data storage solutions. That's these online servers that they're utilizing, and they have server farms that store our data as well. But I don't want to just give them access to everything that I'm doing, to learn everything about my life, to then be able to profit off of that data. That data is mine. And with the internet becoming a more integral part of our day-to-day life, moving forward, we're only getting more intertwined with this internet world, because the only way for us to continue innovating as a society is to break past the limitations of our physical world to have new innovations take place. And where do we no longer have the restrictions of our physical world? It's in the digital world. So innovations will continue happening in that direction to make our lives better, some could say, and to create new solutions for businesses. And that will continue to transpire on our digital world in the quote unquote metaverse. So if we're going to be moving more and more into the metaverse, then we need to be able to have control over our own data so that we're not always left susceptible to the risks of having third-party data storage companies having our data and doing whatever they want with it. So insert Web3. Now, blockchain is the primary technology that is being used for this, and blockchain allows for us to have a now fairly native data storage solution on the internet that creates a decentralized data storage solution. Now, what do I mean by decentralized data? Well, now instead of one company housing all of this data, we have different computers or nodes, if you will, that are all over the world that are collectively holding a copy of all of the data on this blockchain. And then when new changes happen to that blockchain, all of these computers around the world all have to agree that this new change is supposed to happen. And that happens through different things called consensus algorithms or consensus mechanisms, whatever you want to call it. This is what mining is. This is what staking helps with, all of that stuff there. Those are different ways that we have like an engine that fuels the blockchain. Proof of work and proof of stake. There's also delegated proof of stake and other types of like proof of history that we won't dive into all of that right now. But I want you to think of those as different like engines that are used to power the blockchain, just like how we have a V6 for a Corvette, a V8 for a Corvette. I don't even know if they make V6 Corvettes, but V6 for cars, V8 for cars. They got, 4 cylinders for cars, different types of engines. Now they have energy efficient ones, all of that stuff there, right? So that's what blockchain is in a nutshell, okay? And this is kind of an example of what I'm talking about. We have a centralized data storage solution here, and then we have a decentralized and transparent data storage solution over here. So let me ask you the question. If we're going to continue to move into this digital world, we need to have sovereign ownership of digital assets. Right now, it's not possible to have sovereign ownership of digital assets. What are these digital assets? Well, these are cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Now, to put it simply, but I'm going to dive deeper into it into the next lessons, cryptocurrencies are digital currencies, right? PayPal just created a digital currency called their own PayPal USD, and they have already said that PayPal USD is a more secure way of holding your US dollars with them than just holding your USD with them in normal PayPal. They've already came out and said that. So the biggest companies in the world are starting to take this technology and move forward with it. This isn't dying off. This is our future. And the sooner that you guys learn how this stuff works, the sooner you can learn to start to take advantage of it and learn how to do so with a methodical approach so that you're not just throwing money at the wall, hoping it sticks because you're investing in freaking Shiba Inu because Rick from yoga class said it was a good idea, right? So join me in the next lesson where we dive into talking more about what cryptocurrency is so I can break that down for you, so I can demystify things and make it crystal clear so that anybody can understand it. That's my goal here, is to break down Web3, crypto, blockchain, NFTs, all that stuff to make it so simple that even a 4th grader can understand. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, go ahead and join us in the Discord and ask us if you have any questions there. And I will see you in the next video.